Have you ever woken up feeling tired, but not the usual tired? It's not because you stayed up late. It's not because you overworked yourself the day before. It's a quiet kind of exhaustion, like something inside you is fading. A heaviness in your legs, a fog in your mind, a stillness in your energy. And yet your blood tests are normal. Your doctor says everything looks fine. So what's going on? Most people chalk it up to just getting older. But what if the truth is far more dangerous and far more preventable? Dr. Otto Warburg, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, once said something that shocked the medical world. Cells don't die because of age. They die because they stop getting oxygen. And when your cells stop breathing properly, something terrifying begins. Silent diseases take root. They don't announce themselves with pain or dramatic symptoms. They creep in hidden behind your normal routines, behind your favorite foods, even behind your healthy habits. That's what makes them so deadly. You don't feel them until it's too late. One oncologist once admitted, 90% of my cancer patients had no idea something was silently growing inside them. They ate breakfast, they went to work, they smiled at their grandchildren, until one day everything changed with a single diagnosis. And by then their cells had been suffocating for years. But here's the hopeful truth. Oxygen is not medicine, it's not expensive, and it's not out of reach. It's in your breath. It's in your water. It's in your daily choices. You don't need a miracle pill to feel strong again. You just need to restore what your body was designed to have in the first place. And that's exactly what we're going to show you in this video. If you've been feeling this too, not weakness, but a quiet question rising inside you, then stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means growing wiser, stronger, and still moving forward. Because this journey, it starts with something so simple, yet so powerful. A single glass of water. And soon you'll see how that one act done at the right time can wake up your entire body from the inside out. Shall we begin? Long before the world became obsessed with anti-aging creams and miracle diets, one man quietly uncovered the secret that could have changed everything. And he did it not with marketing hype, but with a microscope and a mission. His name was Dr. Otto Warburg, a brilliant German biochemist who won the Nobel Prize for discovering something so powerful. The world of medicine still hasn't caught up to it. What Warburg found was this. Cells don't become sick because of age germs or bad luck. They become sick because they stop receiving oxygen. Let that sink in. It's not about aging faster. It's about starving your cells of their most basic need. Every second, your body performs millions of microscopic miracles. But none of them, not digestion, not brain function, not muscle repair, can happen without oxygen. Without it, your cells begin to suffocate. They slow down, they struggle, and over time, they surrender. That's when inflammation creeps in, when fatigue takes over, when memory fog becomes your new normal, and when chronic diseases like cancer, heart failure, and diabetes find a way in. But Warburg didn't stop at diagnosis. He went further, and what he found was remarkably simple. Cells can be healed, not with surgeries, not with expensive machines, but with daily choices that allow oxygen to reach every corner of your body. He outlined 8 cellular oxygenation habits, a roadmap anyone could follow, no matter their age or medical history. And today we're bringing those habits to light one step at a time with real stories and real science. Because somewhere along the way, modern healthcare forgot that healing doesn't always come in a bottle. It can come from a glass of warm water, from a breath taken fully, from a salad made with care, from a walk in the sunlight, from a moment when you say to your body, I haven't forgotten you. I'm ready to give you what you've needed all along. This isn't about fear, it's about power, the the quiet, steady power of oxygen flowing freely through your veins again. So as we begin this journey, remember, you're not just learning how to survive aging. You're learning how to breathe youth back into every cell. And that starts tomorrow morning with the most overlooked ritual in senior health. Are you curious? You should be. Because the way you begin your day, the very first thing you drink might be the difference between fatigue and cellular rebirth. Let's talk about that morning elixir next. Your body speaks to you first thing in the morning, not with words, but with signals. A dry mouth, heavy limbs, foggy thoughts, or aching joints. It's not shouting. It's whispering, "Help me. I'm dehydrated. I can't breathe." Because after 6 to 8 hours without food or water, your cells awaken hungry, not just for nutrients, but for oxygen. And before you even lift a fork, what you choose to drink in those first moments can either awaken your body or quietly keep it trapped in fatigue. Dr. Warburg believed this first step was crucial, so much so that he insisted on one simple act every morning before anything else. A glass of warm water with lemon on an empty stomach. Not for taste, not for weight loss, but because this single act rehydrates every cell and lowers the acidity of your blood, preparing your organs to function and your cells to absorb oxygen more efficiently. You see, about 60% of your body is water. But when you wake up, your body is running on empty. Thick blood, sluggish circulation, oxygen deprived. Drinking warm lemon water is like opening a window in a stuffy room. It signals your organs to wake up. It stimulates gentle detox. And most importantly, it gives your cells the hydration they need to breathe. Think of it this way. Cold water shocks the system. Coffee dehydrates. And dry toast or nothing at all just makes the problem worse. But warm lemon water, it soothes the stomach. It balances your internal pH. And it opens the floodgates for oxygen delivery to every organ, especially your brain and muscles. One woman in her 60s, tired of her morning coffee crashes, decided to try it. Just 3 weeks in, her bloating disappeared. Her digestion smoothed out, her skin glowed, and most surprisingly, her mind felt clearer than it had in years. She said, "I thought I was getting older, but really, I was just dehydrated." And isn't that the story for so many of us? We blame age, when really it's the little things we don't do, like giving our bodies the water it's quietly begging for. When you drink that first glass of warm lemon water, you're not just quenching thirst. You're sending a signal to every cell. Wake up. Oxygen is coming. It's time to heal. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no stiffness, with clear thoughts, with a body that responds to you, not resists you. It starts here. But hydration is just the first breath of this transformation. What you put on your plate next will either feed your cells or quietly drain them. So, if you think vegetables are just side dishes, get ready to see them as oxygen fuel for your bloodstream. Let's talk about the leafy greens your cells are dying to taste. Some people think a salad is just a side dish, something you eat when you're trying to be good. But for your cells, a salad, especially one full of leafy greens, can be the difference between survival and slow decline. Dr. Otto Warburg didn't see vegetables as optional. He saw them as cellular oxygen agents. And he believed the greenest foods on earth were also the most powerful healers. Why? Because dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, arugula, or Swiss chard are rich in something called chlorophyll, and chlorophyll in its structure is almost identical to hemoglobin, the part of your blood that carries oxygen. In other words, when you eat leafy greens, you're not just getting fiber or vitamins. You're giving your blood the raw material it needs to carry more oxygen to every cell in your body. And that's just the beginning. These greens also flood your system with magnesium, which relaxes blood vessels, lowers pressure, and improves oxygen delivery. Calcium, for strong bones and smooth cellular function. Enzymes, to break down food gently and improve nutrient absorption. Antioxidants, to fight inflammation and protect aging cells from damage. Without enough of these nutrients, your blood becomes more acidic, which in Warburg's words creates a perfect storm for disease fatigue and inflammation. That's when your nails become brittle, your skin looks tired, your energy crashes after lunch, and you think I'm just getting older. But really, your body's internal chemistry has become too acidic to support vibrant health. A daily salad drizzled with olive oil and lemon juice can reverse that quietly and powerfully. One man in his early 70s used to skip vegetables entirely. He relied on bread meat and coffee because it was easy. But after a health scare, he made a decision every day. Before anything else, he'd eat a bowl of fresh greens. In just 30 days, his energy returned. His hands stopped trembling, and he could walk longer without getting winded. He said it wasn't a diet, it was oxygen, and my body finally felt it. So the next time you look at a bunch of spinach, don't think of it as a burden. Think of it as a lifeline for your blood. Because inside that bowl is not just a meal, it's medicine, it's oxygen, it's cellular resurrection, one bite at a time. But even the healthiest salad can't undo what happens when you fall into the snack trap, those salty, sugary cravings between meals that feel harmless, but quietly drain your cells of life. Let's talk about that next. It starts innocently enough, a little hunger between meals. You glance at the clock, just a few more hours until dinner. So you reach for something quick, a cookie, a cracker, maybe a handful of chips. It doesn't feel like a big deal. After all, you've had your salad, drank your lemon water, and even went for a short walk. What harm could a little snack do? But Dr. Warburg saw what most of us don't. The small choices we make when we're not thinking are the ones that matter most. Because that snack, that tiny sugary or salty thing, it sends your blood sugar soaring and then crashing. It feeds acidity. It clogs oxygen flow. It silently chokes your cells one bite at a time. Your cells don't just need calories, they need balance. They need minerals, not just sugar. They need real fuel, not instant spikes. Every time you choose ultra-processed snacks, your body fights back. You feel tired even though you just ate. Your brain gets foggy. Your joints feel heavier. And the worst part, you don't realize what's really causing it. Because this isn't about willpower, it's about awareness. Warburg recommended smart swaps, tiny changes that protect the oxygen flow inside your body. Instead of candy, try almonds rich in calcium and magnesium, which balance your blood sugar and nourish your nervous system. Instead of chips, grab a few walnuts or a spoon of natural yogurt with berries, both rich in antioxidants that help reduce cellular inflammation. Instead of sweet crackers, reach for a boiled egg or a slice of avocado-healthy fats that stabilize your metabolism and help oxygen reach your brain. One woman in her late 60s had constant stomach aches and never linked them to her snacking habits. But when she swapped her afternoon sweets for a few almonds and lemon water, something shifted. The bloating eased. Her mood improved. And her sleep, once scattered and shallow, became deep and restful. She said, "It felt like someone turned the lights back on inside me." That's what happens when your cells finally get what they've been missing. Not more food, but better choices. So the next time hunger creeps in between meals, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this going to feed my body or fatigue it? Because you're not just feeding your stomach, you're feeding your future energy, clarity, and longevity. But food alone isn't the answer. Even with the best nutrition, your body can't oxygenate properly if it's stuck in one place all day. Let's talk about the medicine of movement and why stillness might be silently holding you back. Have you ever noticed how a short walk can change everything? Your thoughts feel clearer. Your chest feels lighter. Your body feels awake. That's not your imagination. That's oxygen finally reaching the places that stillness had blocked. Dr. Otto Warburg once said, "If you don't move, your body becomes acidic." He wasn't being poetic, he meant it literally. When you sit for long periods in your favorite chair on the couch in the car, your blood moves slower. Your lymph system, the body's natural detox highway, gets stuck. And instead of flushing out waste, it stores it. This silent stagnation leads to fatigue, swollen ankles, brain fog, inflammation, and in time serious disease. Because without movement, oxygen can't circulate. Your cells become like a river dammed by stillness, shallow, toxic, and lifeless. But here's the good news. You don't need a gym. You don't need weights or a workout app. You just need your own 2 feet, a 15-minute walk, stretching your arms by the window, dancing a little while the kettle boils, standing and marching in place during commercials. Every movement is a message to your cells, I haven't given up on you. One man in his 70s had persistent knee pain and morning fatigue. Doctors suggested rest, but it only made him feel worse, so he began walking just a few minutes a day around the block. At first, he needed support. By week 2, he didn't. By week 4, the pain was gone. And he said, I didn't realize I was stiff because I stopped moving, not the other way around. When you move, you pump fresh oxygen into your muscles, stimulate digestion and detox, lighten the emotional load of stress and sadness, and most importantly, you revive your cells. Because movement isn't about exercise, it's about circulation. It's how you tell your body, let's keep going. It's how you shake off the fog. It's how you breathe deeply and fully, even if you never think about it. And speaking of breathing, it's time we talk about the most neglected health habit of all. Not diet, not medication, not supplements. Your breath. You do it thousands of times a day, but are you doing it in a way that actually heals your body? Let's find out. We take around 20,000 breaths a day. But how many of those breaths are actually keeping us alive, and how many are just getting us by? In a world filled with noise screens and stress, most of us have forgotten how to really breathe. Our breaths are shallow, stuck in the chest, tight in the ribs. We rush through life rarely filling our lungs the way nature intended, and yet oxygen is the most vital nutrient we'll ever receive. Dr. Otto Warburg believed that most illnesses don't begin with germs or aging, they begin with cellular suffocation. Your brain, your heart, your muscles, they're all built to run on oxygen. And when you take in too little, too fast, or too shallow, you're not just limiting your breath, you're limiting your life. Think of it like this. Shallow breathing keeps oxygen trapped in your upper chest. Deep breathing opens the lungs, expands the belly, and fills every cell. One floods your system. The other keeps your cells gasping for air. And here's something even more powerful. Deep breathing doesn't just fuel your cells. It calms your nervous system. It reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly breaks down your body over time. It lowers blood pressure. It improves focus. It even boosts digestion and immune function. One man in his 60s living in a noisy city began practicing deep breathing each morning. Just 10 slow breaths. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Within 1 week, his blood pressure readings dropped. His headaches vanished. And he described the feeling as like someone had untied a knot in my chest. So how do you begin? Start simple. Step outside or near an open window. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 3. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Repeat 5-10 times. It takes less than 2 minutes. but the impact on your oxygen levels, mood, and focus can last all day. Your breath is your most loyal companion. It's free, it's immediate, and it's the fastest way to return to balance. But even with oxygen-rich breath, one major thing can still hold you back: the food you trust most. Because not all proteins are created equal. Some help your body rebuild. Others silently clog your system and cut off your cells from the oxygen they need. Let's take a closer look. Meat has always been at the center of our plates, a sign of strength, celebration, tradition. For many, it's comfort food. But when it comes to cellular health, comfort doesn't always mean safety. Dr. Otto Warburg didn't say meat was bad, but he warned that how we eat it could be silently working against us. The truth is, not all meat feeds the body. Some of it fights it. Processed meats, fried cuts, smoked sausages, they increase acidity in the blood, raise inflammation, and choke off the oxygen supply to your cells. Think of your bloodstream like a highway. Healthy, clean meat is like a smooth ride. Nutrients move freely, but fatty, fried, or chemically processed meat, it clogs the road. Oxygen can't get through. Your joints ache, your digestion slows, your heart works harder, and you wonder, why am I so tired after eating? But there's a better way. Warburg recommended small portions of lean meat, gently cooked, steamed, boiled, or baked no more than once a day. About the size of your palm. That's all your cells need to rebuild without being overwhelmed. He also believed in the healing power of meatless days, a chance for your digestive system to rest and your body to focus on repair, not constant breakdown. One woman in her 70s made a simple change. She swapped out her daily fried pork for lightly steamed chicken breast, and once a week she enjoyed a fully plant-based day. Within a month, her cholesterol dropped, her stomach pain disappeared, and she said, "I didn't need to eat less. I just needed to eat smarter." You don't have to give up meat, but you do have to choose the kind that nourishes rather than narrows. Lean meats like chicken, turkey, or white fish, cooked gently paired with greens and enjoyed in moderation, can help oxygen move freely, rebuild tissues, and reduce silent inflammation. Because meat isn't the enemy, ignorance is. And sometimes the danger isn't in what you know, it's in what you assume is healthy. Take vegetables, for example. They're supposed to be good for you, but some common ones, the ones on almost every dinner plate, might be making your body more acidic, more inflamed, and less oxygenated than ever. Let's talk about those next. We've been told since childhood, eat your vegetables, they're good for you. And most of the time that's true. But what if some vegetables, the ones sitting on dinner tables every night, were quietly making your body more acidic, more inflamed, and more vulnerable? Dr. Otto Warburg believed in the power of plants, but he also knew not all plants are created equal. He warned that certain vegetables, especially the starchy kind, can turn into sugar almost instantly in the body. That sugar raises your acidity. And when your body becomes acidic, your cells can't hold on to oxygen. No oxygen means no energy, no healing, and eventually, disease. Take white potatoes, for example. They're comforting, familiar, but once digested, they act a lot like sugar. They spike insulin, they cause inflammation, and over time, they slow down the delivery of oxygen to your brain, your heart, your joints. That's why some people feel bloated, sluggish, or in pain, even after what they thought was a healthy meal. But there's a better path, a greener path. Warburg recommended replacing starchy vegetables with those that are alkaline, colorful, and rich in cellular fuel. Zucchini, gentle on digestion, full of fiber, and low in sugar. Brussels sprouts, packed with antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Asparagus, a natural diuretic that helps flush out excess acid. Eggplant and bell peppers, vibrant, anti-inflammatory, and easy on the bloodstream. One man in his 60s stopped eating potatoes every night and began steaming colorful veggies instead. Within weeks, his bloating disappeared. His skin looked brighter. His energy returned. He said, "I didn't need a detox. I just needed different vegetables." These veggies aren't just sides. They're oxygen food. They contain chlorophyll carotenoids and minerals that help cells breathe and fight damage. So the next time you plan your plate, ask yourself, is this vegetable giving me energy or silently taking it away? Because even healthy intentions can go the wrong way unless they're guided by awareness. And now we arrive at the most important habit of all, the foundation, the one element that ties everything together. It's been with you since the beginning, but chances are you've never really seen its power. Let's finish with the source of all life and how it may be the missing piece in your health story. We often search for complex solutions, new pills, new diets, new breakthroughs. But sometimes the answer has been with us all along, clear, quiet, and flowing from your kitchen tap. Water. Not soda, not tea, not juice. Just pure, clean water, the element your cells were designed to live in. Dr. Otto Warburg believed water wasn't just hydration, it was life at the cellular level. Your cells don't just drink water, they are surrounded by it. They use it to bring in oxygen, to expel toxins, to stay flexible and strong. But here's the painful truth. By the time you feel thirsty, your cells are already struggling. Your blood is thicker, your circulation slows, and your organs begin to pull water from wherever they can, sometimes even from your brain, your skin, or your digestive lining. The result: fatigue, dry skin, acid reflux, brain fog, aches that feel like just aging. But it's not always age. Often it's dehydration in disguise. Warburg recommended something simple yet powerful. Start every morning with a warm glass of water, ideally with lemon. Drink small sips throughout the day instead of big gulps all at once. Aim for at least 2 liters a day more if you're active or live in warm climates. Avoid sugary drinks and caffeine that steal more water than they give. One man in his late 60s had struggled with acid reflux and grogginess for years. He gave up his afternoon sodas and tea and began drinking only warm water. Within 2 weeks, the reflux eased. His sleep improved. His mornings became lighter. He said, "I didn't change much, just water." But it changed everything. You see, every glass of water is a gift to your cells. It carries oxygen, it washes away acids, it reboots your metabolism, it even protects your joints and your brain from early degeneration. Without it, no diet, no supplement, no breathing exercise can truly work. With it, your body becomes a place where healing is possible again. So now you know the truth. Your energy, your clarity, your strength, they don't disappear because of age alone. They fade when your cells can't breathe. But today, you've learned how to give them that breath back. A glass of warm water to start the day. A plate of leafy greens to alkalize your blood. Smart snacks that nourish instead of drain. Daily movement to get the oxygen flowing. Deep breathing to calm your system. Clean, lean protein to rebuild. Alkaline vegetables to detox and energize. And above all, water, the quiet healer that never stops giving. You don't need to do all 8 things perfectly today. But you can take one step, one glass, one breath, one salad, and that alone could be the moment your body has been waiting for. Because your cells are still listening. They haven't given up on you. They're waiting patiently for you to return to them. And when you do, they will thank you with energy, with clarity, with strength. Not from a miracle, but from oxygen and your quiet decision to finally let it in.